The critics are calling it sensational, the best that Eleanor Perry has ever done. It's a novel that deals with the upside-down world of Hollywood. It's entitled Blue Pages, and Eleanor Perry is our guest in the studio this morning. And Blue Pages, let's talk about the title first. That is a script term, right?
It's a Hollywood term for final revisions. There's no such thing as you write a script and then they shoot it. The scripts have to be revised 100 times by everybody, including the busboy and the commissary, usually. But finally, when you get to the revised final version, it's typed up on blue. So that's another way of saying final revisions.
All right,
Blue
Eleanor,
pages.
a lot of the critics in reviewing this novel are wondering whether it is indeed fiction or whether it has an autobiographical touch. Eleanor Perry, the screenwriter, formerly married to Frank Perry, producer, director. The main characters in the book, the Wades, she is a screenwriter, he a producer, director.
Sounds similar, doesn't it? You know what my answer to that is the answer Bob Altman gives when people say, where did you get the idea for your movies? You know who Altman is. MASH, Quintet, The Wedding, you know. He says, it came to me in a dream.
Is this a book you had to write?
I feel I did, yes. I'd like that book to exist. I wanted, there are a lot of things in it about being a film writer in Hollywood and about men and women and relationships that I wanted to say very much.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that you are not bashful or shy in talking about the fact that yours was a fractured Hollywood marriage. It doesn't even have to be Hollywood these days. What, 1 out of every 4 marriages in the country ends in divorce. But Eleanor and Frank Perry had phenomenal successes with the likes of David and Lisa, Diary of a Mad Housewife. It can go on and on and on. What happened? Is it the strain of the professional?
Partly that, perhaps. Some theories are, not my own, but maybe my ex-husband's, that it was too much togetherness. Working together, living together, always being together is too much. I found it very exciting, actually. But some people, I hate to say that I'm living a cliche, or I have lived a cliche, but maybe when we were poor and struggling, we were much happier than when we were successful. I hate to admit that.
Was there a strong sense of competition? Was it perhaps possible that you were brighter, you were more talented, or that he felt that you were?
Well, that's a very astute question, and of course puts me on the spot, and I hate to answer that. I'm very fond of him. I think maybe he did feel that. I don't know that.
Men cannot handle that, can they, Eleanor?
It was, I really did walk 6 paces behind like a squaw, you know, hoping that, I was so afraid of worrying his macho feelings or his feelings of being in charge, because the director is in charge. And I would say to actors who came up to me about a line, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, talk to the director, you know, which is the etiquette on the set anyway. But I suppose with some men, you feel that way. With other men, you don't even have to think about that. There's no consideration. I don't know, you know, I know that I was very careful. And what did it get me? You know, I was very nice. Nice women finish last.
Are you bitter?
I've been accused of that, but I don't think so. I think in the book I'm very funny and resilient. Mm-hmm. And what's the point of being bitter? No, I'm not.
Do you ever look back, Eleanor, and wish perhaps that you had been born the female without talent, the helpless female that our society seems to, I don't know, seems to admire so much?
Well, certainly at times, no, I adore being able to write, and I'm just feel so fortunate. But at times you think, oh boy, I remember when Frank got fired by Sam Spiegel on The Swimmer, another picture we did that could have been wonderful. And I would walk around the streets of New York looking at people and thinking, they don't even know Sam Spiegel. They're living their lives without ever having met Sam Spiegel. And it is a kind of sense of retiring from the battle and the battlegrounds. But on the other hand, it's also too resigned and too dead. I would rather go out and fight and take my chances and be in the mainstream of whatever it is.
There's already a lot of talk that Blue Pages is going to be made into a film. Who would you like to see star in that film?
Well, I thought of Richard Dreyfuss for the band.
Ah, good choice.
Good choice.
Okay, good choice. How
And
about
I
the woman?
suppose, you know, I have several of my actress friends, Ellen Burstyn or Shirley MacLaine, or now, you know, even the age difference in the book isn't vitally, it doesn't have to be that big an age difference.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's a very interesting part of the book, I think, because I've dealt with it honestly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a recent picture called Moment by Moment, I thought it was so dishonest, and everyone was screaming with
that
laughter
was
anyway.
yes, yes,
and
that's-
every frame was on the boy's crotch as if that's what it's about. It's not about that.
Only the John Travolta fans could have
Yeah,
even gone
they
to see
screamed
the
with laughter
film.
and rushed out too.
Uh,
But even Jill Clayburgh, you know, Jane Fonda, any mature actress could play it, because it's the age difference, which I've been asked about a lot, I think is irrelevant in many respects.
I think for those people who have not read about the book, we've talked about the fact that it is a woman screenwriter, a man producer-director. There is an age difference. The woman is older. And again, our society today, this is, as a matter of fact, just recently, there was a big story in one of the magazines with maybe a dozen prominent people who do operate in that
Yes,
kind
I
of
saw that, I
relationship.
think. As if it's so, you know, it's so freaky or something. So what? I have a standard answer, which is a joke, which I'll tell you, but my theory, I thought about it a lot, and I decided all men are 3 years old. Therefore, women of
I've always
any
thought
age
14.
are older. No, 3.
Oh, 14.
They all want
In other words,
mothers.
you put them in short pants.
So we're all older than
But
that.
it's almost as foolish, Eleanor, as saying that all men must be taller than women.
Exactly, exactly.
Not true.
What is that myth?
Yeah.
You know, it's an old-fashioned kind of Victorian myth that the man must protect, be stronger, be taller, be
Little
older.
bit of time that we have left. How about your children? They are both writers.
They're both writers, and we own a tremendous number of typewriters.
How many? I read.
I
How
think
many?
9 or 10, because if one breaks down, we borrow and send, you know, it takes forever to get a typewriter fixed. We have traveling typewriters, Olivetti's, this, that, and the other. My daughter's working on the new Life magazine,
Oh,
and
marvelous.
also writing a novel, and has published a lot of fiction. And my son is working on his 4th novel.
Oh, isn't it?
So,
It's a contagious disease, isn't it?
well, as Dr. Murphy said to me, their genes are right or something.
Eleanor
But they
Perry,
enjoy it.
You are a delight, and the book, Blue Pages, it's a blockbuster. It has, as I said, the critics have already called it sensational. You better read it before it's made into a film. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. I enjoyed
Bye-bye.
this.
We'll be right back.